What's up, everybody? It is February 1st, 2026, and today we're going to be diving into the upcoming weather pattern to see what the weather has in store for us. Sorry, I burped there. Looking at the models, we can see that there is tons of Arctic air reaching as far south as into Florida. And if you stick around to the end of this video, you'll see the cool things happening down south. While the west is favorable for some very, very mild Pacific air. And it gets disgusting for the west on this day right here. This is on February 4th. It's going to get gross. It's way too warm for our snowpack. Our snowpack is not going to be looking too well. At the end of our run here, this morning, there's some changes. There's no Arctic air up here. Instead, that Arctic air, I think, went for the East Coast. So, sorry, West Coast. Looks like there's going to be no Arctic air in the next 7 days. Looking at our 2-meter temperature in Fahrenheit, you can see, as of right now, most of the cold air is east, far east. And you can see it even approaches 60 degrees up in Washington State on the day. On the 3rd, which is absolutely crazy for the folks that live in Washington and Oregon. Look at this. We're approaching 60 or 70 degrees. No pun intended. No 6 or 7. But this is not good for our snowpack out west. This is terrible, actually. It's terrible. This is not what we need for our snowpack. While the east is very, very, very cold, like frostbite cold. So please, out east, make sure that you're not taking it too hard with the snow shoveling. Wow, on the day number 5 on February 5th, it gets warm. That might be a good day to lay down on the beach. It is warm. As we approach the end of our run, it gets colder, obviously, with this Arctic shock coming in out east. Looking at our 168-hour precipitation in inches. This is the 7-day also. 168 hours is the equivalent to 7 days, so it's 1 week. On February 16th, we can see the Pacific Northwest, as usual, tons of precipitation, up to 6 inches in places like Oregon and Washington. While the rest of the country, unless you're in the northern Rockies, is not going to have much precipitation. And even this, don't get concerned, I don't think it's going to cause any real problems. Looking at our wind. Earlier today, we saw some big problems. But it looks like they're unupdated because we saw some higher winds in Washington and Oregon, but that went away. But there is still potentially high winds out east and potentially high winds in Montana. Looking at our 500 millibar height dam and anomaly M. And in case you're wondering, it is not dam, D-A-M-N, it is D-A-M. There is currently ridge of high pressure out west, trough of low pressure out east. The darker in coloration the trough is, the more severe it is. The higher in coloration the ridge is, the more severe the ridge is. The poor West Coast, man. Another ridge formed. This is not what we need for our snowpack, man. We just don't need it. We just don't. And then it moves east. We have a trough here that appears to be trying to take a swing at us. Not sure if it will. This trough does intensify, like a lot, but it's over the ocean. And just skimming Rhode Island there. So, looking at our snow, this is our snow depth in inches. Let's look at our positive snow depth, change it in inches. As of right now, I mean, yeah, there's not going to be just no snow, but the positive snow depth in inches is not much. As we scroll on, it does get heavier, but mainly in the Cascades and Northeast. Looking at our snow depth in inches, as of just right now, tons of snow for the Northeast and tons of snow for the West. It does dissipate a little bit, though, as we go on with this ridge. It's terrible. Looking at our extended forecast, this is the 32-day snow 10-to-1 ratio in inches. You can see there's plenty of snow for the mountains out west and tons of snow for the northeast. Looking at our 46th day in inches, there is tons of snow for the mountains out west and tons of snow for the northeast, and also the Great Lakes region with those lake effect snow machines turned on. Looking at our control model, no, it did not update, but it probably will tomorrow morning. I will make a post tomorrow morning if it does update, so check tomorrow on the post page, and I'll have tweeted about something. I won't upload a video tomorrow or any days during the work week. I will, looking at our control model, you can see that there is still tons of snow for the mountains out west and northeast. As we max out here, there's even more snow for the northeast and mountains out west. But as we go back to 6 runs ago, this is when there was a lot more snow for the mountains out west and Great Lakes region in general. But, I mean, it's not that different. Let's just hope that this updates and shows even more snow. Looking at pivotal weather here. Get rid of that ad. Looking at our National Weather Service current hazards, you can see that down in Florida, thanks for sticking around if you did, here's what I have to show you. There's freeze warnings in Miami and all of Florida into Georgia, and also not to mention Louisiana. That is crazy. Look at this. There's a freeze warning in Florida. It's February, y'all, and there's a freeze warning in Florida. That is absolutely nutty to me. There's a speck of green, so that's going to be a flood warning for Texas, right on the border there. These purples are winter weather advisories. We've also got high wind warnings in effect. I'm not sure where they are. I don't see any of that color, unless it's in Alaska. Actually, it might be in Alaska. It doesn't show that here. But there's dense fog advisories here. We've got high wind watches for Wyoming and winter advisories. Oh, we've also got some flood watches for Washington. We've got winter weather advisories for Montana and Washington, D.C. area, and high wind watches here. Looking at one more thing. Yes, I will do one more thing before we go. We are going to go to Maps, European, regular European this time. We're going to look at moisture, look at visibility in miles. Yes, we're going to look at visibility. As of right now, today, it is pretty good unless you're in some isolated spots in California and Washington. As we scroll on, you can see it does get pretty bad for some of the mountains, and then a system rolls in and potentially brings it down to 3 or 2 or maybe 1 mile in Washington. And also, not to mention, it gets pretty bad out here. And also spots here on the coast and spots here in California, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Washington, Oregon, those states. And as you can see as we scroll on, it gets actually very bad here. This could cause potential driving issues for most of Washington. Again, it's not the most widespread thing, but it is bad, so it could affect driving. And that is the end of our run, y'all. So thanks for sticking around. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. We are only 2 subscribers away from our goal of 20 subscribers, so please subscribe. It would help support the channel a lot. Share this video with friends and family, and I will see you guys next Saturday. Goodbye, y'all.